If you're looking for some of the best cases that you can get right now for the brand new Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, I've got them right here. I'm going to be going through each one of these cases to let you know which one's the worst and which ones I think are worth your time. And I guarantee that you're going to find one case here you're going to absolutely love. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I will be giving you my personal favorite cases based on a few different categories. And as always, I will be putting links for all these cases in the video description. And one easy way you can show me that you like what I'm doing here is hit that like button. It only takes a second. And if you want to help support my channel, you can also donate using the thanks button. So grab your snacks, sit back and relax, and enjoy the video. All right, here we have the Spigen Rugged Armor Pro case. So this case looks pretty promising. It's got a nice front cover that does fold up magnetically, which is pretty nice. It also has a little spot for your S Pen as well, and it feels really nice too. It's got these cool little designs on the back. Let's put the tablet inside the case. Kind of just presses in place here. Very nice. So if we look at it from the side here, you can see that it does have a nice raised edge all the way around the screen to protect it. Folds up really nice. It also has some reinforcements in the edge in case you happen to drop it on one of those. It will be protected as well. The front cover again, it's got this really nice texture to it, and it also acts as a smart cover. So when you open it up, your tablet turns on as well. On the top here, we have our volume buttons and our power button. We also have some cutouts for the microphones. On the side, we have our charging port and cutouts for our speakers. And on the other side, we have our mic cutout and our speaker cutouts. Feels really nice in the hand. I love this texture on the back. Feels really nice. It's got the carbon fiber inlays on each side here. Kind of like that industrial look. It's got the little spot for the S Pen, cutouts for your cameras. And here we have our S Pen. Just kind of press this into place. There you go. Looks really nice. And if you want to take the S Pen out, you can easily pull it out as well. So I'm really liking this case so far. Let's open it up. It's got a little cutout here so you can easily put your finger in there to open up the fold. On the inside, it's got this nice soft felt feel to keep your screen protected. And again, like I said, you can kind of fold it up. It is magnetically and it holds in place just like that. And it angles perfectly towards your face. And I can also lay it down like this if you want to as well. So it's still angled towards your face, but it is now laying down a little bit more. As you can see the screen a lot better. Buttons. Nice and clicky, easily pressable. No issues there either. And with Face ID, as soon as you turn the tablet on, it's angled perfectly towards your face and it just goes right to your home screen. And as far as the case just coming off your tablet, it doesn't seem like it just comes off. It seems like it's in there pretty good as well. It also keeps your tablet nice and slim as well, which I absolutely love. I don't want to get a case that makes the tablet super bulky. So this is definitely a good option for that as well. I like the feel too. It's not grippy, but it's got kind of like that smooth rubber type feel to it. And you can also totally fold the back cover over on itself as well. But now keep in mind your camera and your S Pen are both covered on the back now. But that is a pretty nice case. It is going to keep your tablet protected and it looks pretty good while doing it. So I would definitely recommend this case and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Samsung official Smart Book cover. So it does come in this two-piece design. They are totally separate, and it looks like you can probably use these independently as well. We're going to test that out. If you want to just clip this onto the back of your tablet, you could probably do that as well. So let's turn the tablet over, and we'll just put this into place. And it magnetically just clips right onto the back. I absolutely love that. So now the back of your tablet is totally protected, and it also gives you this little stand as well, which is so cool. So if you don't need this extra big bulky cover, you can just have the back on there, which acts as your stand as well. That is so cool. And the magnets hold really strong. Like that is not going to just come off. So now let's clip on the bottom here. And that clipped right into place. Now, one thing I don't like about this design is that the front cover here takes up so much space. Like, what are you going to do with this? The tablet doesn't fold over on top of it. It just kind of takes up a lot of unneeded space, whereas the magnetic ones that kind of fold up, they just fold up to nicely make a stand. But with this, if you don't want it, it either is going to take up a lot of space in front of your tablet, or you're going to have to take it off and then you have to put it somewhere. It's not horrible, but it's just something I wanted to mention. But here are the two pieces together. There's the stand, and here is this ginormous front tablet piece. It holds in place really well, and it's angled perfectly towards your face. And if you really want to, you can put it the other way as well, and then have it angled a little further down, but still towards your face, which is really nice. And then the top just kind of folds over and folds into place. So I really do like this design. It is pretty cool. I just kind of wish that the front cover would have kind of folded up magnetically. Now it also has a little cover for the S Pen as well. So if you want to put your S Pen in here, just put it in the magnet, and then that's also protected now too. And as you can see, it keeps your tablet super thin. As you can see on the top, everything is totally exposed, so you can still access your micro SD card and your volume and power buttons. On the side, it's also not covered, but on the bottom you have that nice cover. It also has a nice soft kind of silicone type feel to it as well, which is really nice. It's got the perfect cutouts for your camera lenses and your LED, and it does come up a little above the lenses as well to give you some protection there. Yeah, this is definitely one of the nicer tablet covers that I've seen because, again, it uses that magnetic hold. It doesn't have that plastic piece that goes all the way around the case. The stand is exceptional. It is super strong. It's definitely not going to move when you have it open and your tablet is standing on it. And the magnet for the front cover is also pretty strong as well. You actually have to really put some force in it to pull it off. So this is definitely one of my top 10 favorite cases. I would definitely recommend it, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Then here we have the UAG Metropolis SE case. So here's the case. It does feel really nice in the hand. It's got a nice soft feel to it. The only thing is, because your tablet is going to be so protected, it will add some extra bulk. So it does have a nice rubber back here. Put our tablet inside the case. So I will tell you right now that getting this case over the tablet was a little bit difficult, but that's not bad because you'll at least know that the tablet will not come out easily. So there it is inside the case. The rubber is nice and smooth. It's not grippy, feels really nice in the hand. It also has reinforcement in the edges in case you happen to drop your tablet on the ground. It will be protected. We have our cutouts in the top here for our volume button and our power button. Folds up rather nicely just like this and then holds in place magnetically. So as you can see, it doesn't add too much extra bulk to the tablet, but it is definitely a little thicker. Here's the back of the tablet as well. It's got a nice soft padding on the top and the bottom. It's got kind of like this industrial look to it. On the sides here, we have our cutouts for our speakers. On the other side, we have the same thing, but we have a little cutout for our charging port. Here we have our cutouts for our camera and our LED. And then this also protects your S Pen in case you want to put it inside as well. The cover totally covers the S Pen. So now if you want your tablet to stand up and you want it to kind of face you, you do have quite a few different adjustments here. We have a couple different little places that you could put the tablet, but it does seem to stay even if you want it outside of those specific areas. So we'll put it into that first little notch, and as you can see, it sits perfectly fine. We can move it on to the next one. Now it's angled a little bit more down, but still towards your face. And then finally, if you want to angle it a little bit more, we can kind of take it to the edge here. It does still seem to stay in place, even though there's not that little groove here. And now it's kind of angled a little more down, but still towards your face. Still pretty nice. As you can see, it doesn't move either. So you can do what you need to do without having to worry about it falling. Now, the one thing I will tell you about this case that I don't really like very much and doesn't seem to work very well either is the fact that if you do use your S Pen, it creates a little bulge. And when you try to put this flap over, it doesn't really hold down very much because it has to go over your S Pen. So that's something to keep in mind. It does not hold on very well at all because it has to go over that S Pen. Now if we take out the S Pen, we can see that it no longer has that bulge, and it definitely stays down a lot better. And if you do use your S Pen a lot and want it to be secured, this is probably not one of the cases that I would recommend. Now I'm going to give my recommendation on this case based on what it's supposed to do and how well it actually does it. And if you're going to use your S Pen, this flap does not stay down well at all. So even though it's going to give you some good protection, it doesn't function the way that it should. And because of that, I would not recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs down. And here we have a real leather folio case made by TechCircle. So the case does smell exactly like real leather. It's got a little pen holder on the side here, which is nice. We have our cutouts for our S Pen as well as our camera cutouts. The tablet cover here is made of a soft kind of rubbery TPU material. It also has this rubberized tray that you just put your tablet right into. Your tablet fits in place very nicely, very easy to put in. It does have a nice kind of rubbery type feel to it. If we look at the side here, as you can see, it does have a raised edge all the way around the case. On the top here, we have our volume buttons as well as our little cutout for the power button. We have our cutouts for our mics. On the side, we have our cutouts for our speakers and our charging port, as well as on the other side. The volume buttons, easily accessible. They are clicky. They're a little hard to press in, but they still work. And then your power button is very easily accessible as well. So as you can see, it doesn't add a lot of bulk to the tablet, and your tablet is pretty much covered all the way around as well. Now, if you don't want the front flap to just kind of flop open, they do have this elastic strap that you just need to put over the outside of the case, and it holds it in place just like that. It also seems to cover your camera lenses as well as your S Pen. It seems to hold in place pretty well too. The case is not going to just flop open. The only thing is this elastic piece is kind of flimsy, so I don't know how well it would last over time. And if we open the tablet up, we do have a couple card holder slots here as well in case you need to hold your ID, something like that, some credit cards. We also have some stoppers here for when we want to angle the tablet towards us. Again, everything is covered in a nice leathery material. And if you want to angle the tablet towards you, just simply fold the tablet towards you, and you have these couple leather stoppers here for a couple different adjustments. And it seems to be angled perfectly towards your face as well. So not bad at all. And if you really want to, you can also take your S Pen and put it in this little elastic strap as well if you don't want it on the back. And your tablet also doesn't seem to just want to pop out of this case either. You're going to have to actually push it off for the tablet to start to come out. But this is a really nice leather folio case. It does seem to be pretty good quality, and I love the fact that it does incorporate these pockets here. So really, if you don't want to take your wallet with you, you can pretty much put, a few cards and maybe some money in here if you need. So I'm definitely going to recommend it, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have a very simple TPU cover by WOG. So here is the cover. As you can see, it's very flexible. It is very thin. Has a very nice texture type feel to it, and it's very simple. If you just want to put something to protect your tablet, this is probably going to do the job. On the inside, it's got kind of like this hexagonal texture. So it goes on your tablet fairly easily, but it also doesn't seem like it's just going to pop off as well. You kind of have to really want to take this out of the case to get it to come out. Yeah, it's hard to get out. So as you can see, it keeps the tablet nice and thin. We have our cutouts for our volume buttons and our power button. We also have cutouts for our speakers and our charging ports. There's nothing on the bottom. And on the back, it's got kind of like this nice rubbery textured type feel. You can also put your S Pen in here as well. I like the fact that it does keep your tablet super thin, so it just protects the edges and the back, and that's pretty much the minimalist case that you're going to need. So if you don't need some sort of cover to cover the screen, but you want to cover the sides and the back of the tablet, this seems like a pretty good option. And as far as accessing the buttons on the back, you can still get to them very easily. I definitely do like the feel of it in my hand as well. It does not have any extra reinforcements in the edges, so in case you happen to drop it from a certain height, it might damage your tablet, but for small drops, it should be protected. So again, if you just want the bare minimum to protect your tablet and still keep it nice and thin, I would recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have another really nice folio cover by MOKO. This folio tablet does seem to be covered in a fabric material. Looks really well constructed. It does add a little bit of extra bulk to the tablet, but again, everything's totally going to be protected. We also do have this pocket in the back here in case you want to put some papers. It does seem to be very well constructed. The only thing is, on the inside, the cover here is just totally hard plastic. So your case does kind of seem to just press into place. Goes in pretty easily. It does seem like the edges will be protected as well, but there's a very large portion of the tablet that is not protected. You can easily access your buttons as well as the micro SD card slot. We also have a little S Pen holder on the side. And if you want to angle your tablet towards you, we do have 3 different options here. You just push the tablet towards you. And again, like I said, you have those 3 different options for angles. So not bad at all. Seems to stay in place pretty good. And if you want to fold it up, just fold that over. And then it holds in place magnetically. There's your speakers on the sides, your charging port and speakers on the other side. Then we also have access to our S Pen as well right here. And that's also very well protected as well. And even with the S Pen in place, the cover holds very nicely. Let's see how easily the tablet would come out. Not very easily at all. The tablet is in there because there's no give with the hard plastic, so the tablet is not just going to pop out. And on the inside of this folio, it's also covered in a nice soft material as well. So this does seem to be a very nice folio option if that's what you're looking for. It's very well constructed and it's definitely going to keep your tablet nice and protected. So I would definitely recommend this case and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have a very simple clear case by AICASE. So this is a very simple, very flexible, rubbery type TPU clear case. It does also seem to have some reinforcement in the edges as well, which is definitely nice for drop protection. So it does seem to go on your tablet very easily, and it's also nice and grippy. Again, like I said, it's got those reinforced edges in the side here. If we turn it to the side, you can see that there are some raised edges around the front of the tablet as well. And as you can see on the bottom here, we do have cutouts for that little connection as well as the holders. On the side, we have cutouts for our speakers and our charging ports. On the top, we have our volume buttons and power buttons covered. They are nice and clicky, very easily pressable. And on the back, you can show off the color of your tablet. And we also have a spot for our S Pen. So that is pretty nice. Not bad at all. This, again, like I said, this is a very simple case, but it is effective. It's nice and grippy in your hand, so you don't have to worry about the tablet just slipping out of your hand. You can probably easily just kind of hold on to it with one hand. I can't show you all the way because it will fall, but for the most part, I can almost hold this upright. Very nice. And like I mentioned before, the volume buttons are very, very easily pressable, nice and clicky. as well as the power button. Works very well. So not a bad, simple case. Let's see how easily it comes off the tablet. And it does take some force to try to get that edge off. So again, your tablet should not just pop out of this case. Now the only thing I have to say about clear cases like this is it probably doesn't have any anti-yellowing capabilities, so it may start to yellow a little bit over time. But that's the only downside. I definitely do think it will protect your tablet, and it also keeps it nice and slim. So I would recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have a cool little composition book case by SUPVECO. It looks exactly like a composition book, maybe a little bit bigger, and it even has the pattern on the back. It's also got this really cool texture to it as well. Feels really nice. Now for the main case on the inside of the cover, it is made of a nice soft rubbery type material. Has kind of like this honeycomb pattern on the inside. You can easily press your tablet into place, but your tablet's not going to just pop out. It does take some force to try to get this off your tablet. Looks like it's got a couple magnets on the inside cover here to keep the cover from just falling open, which is definitely nice. If we look at the top here, we do have our volume buttons and power buttons covered, but you can still easily access the buttons. On the side, we have our speaker cutouts as well as our charging. It does feel pretty nice in the hand. Again, it's got that nice texture kind of feel to it. On the back, it does have a cutout for your S Pen and the cutouts for your camera lenses. If you don't want your S Pen just kind of hanging out on the back, you can just press it nicely in this little slot here, and it's not going to just fall out. It does also look to have some nice raised edges all the way around the screen for some screen protection. And if you want to angle the tablet towards you, it does have a couple grooves here for those different options. So there's one angle and another one. And it seems to hold in place pretty well. The cover also has this really nice soft material on the inside as well, so it won't scratch your screen. And then if you want to get out your S Pen, just kind of push your finger up through one of these holes and you can easily access it. Another really nice thing is it seems like you can put your S Pen standing up as well. And it also does seem to have some reinforced edges as well for some extra drop protection. Now as far as our volume buttons goes, they do seem to be easily accessible. They are clicky. And your power button. Perfect. So this does seem to be a really nice option as well. It will protect your tablet and it looks pretty cool too. So I would definitely recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have another folding case by Soke. And here is the case. It does have a nice soft feel to it. It feels like it's covered in like a microfiber material, which is pretty nice. The cover on this is just a single big piece. It does not fold up. Got some stickers on the inside. And the case on the inside of this cover is also made of a soft, flexible material as well. And it also has this nice honeycomb design. So this case reminds me of the composition book case that we just did. It's got the little slot for your S Pen, and it's also got those magnets on the top here to keep your cover closed. And when you open up the cover, it does also turn on your tablet as well. So if we look at the sides, as you can see, it's got our volume buttons and our power buttons, which are covered. It does seem to be reinforced in the edges for some extra drop protection. We have our cutouts for our speaker and our charging ports. On the back, again, it's got that nice soft feel to it. We have our cutouts for our camera lenses and our S Pen slot. No problems there. Then if we open it up, opens up very nice. It does have a nice little lip, so you can easily open up that cover. Again, if you want to put the S Pen on the inside, you can do that as well. Just press that into place. Fits perfectly. Feels nice in the hand as well. If we look at the edges, it's got a nice raised edge all the way around the front of the screen. And it has a couple of angle adjustments as well. Just move that forward into the little grooves here. So we have our one adjustment and then our second. And if you want to get the S Pen out, just press up through this little hole here and you can easily access your S Pen. And it's got these little holes on the side, so it looks like you can kind of put your S Pen angled up. I don't know why you'd want to, but it's there. And on the inside of this cover, it also is covered in this nice soft suede material, which will keep your screen nice and protected as well. Now, as far as the volume buttons goes, they do work. They do seem to be clicky. It does seem to be a little harder to push in the power button, but as you can see, it does still work. So not too bad. This does seem to be a pretty nice case as well, and it's also going to protect your tablet all the way around. And this case also isn't going to just pop off your tablet. It does take some force to try to get the case off the tablet. So if you're looking for a nice folding tablet cover, I would recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have a very rugged hand strap case by JUNFIRE. So this case is made of a 3-piece design. It's got 2 pieces that are made of hard plastic that go over the tablet. Then both of those pieces go into a softer rubber outer shell. And I can tell you for a fact right now that your tablet will not pop out of this case by itself. They actually give you a tool to pry this thing apart. So the whole tablet just rests on top of the hand strap piece. And then we need to place the other plastic piece over this. That also snaps into place. And then just make sure that all these tabs around the whole case are fastened securely before we put it into the rubber piece. Then we can take the rubber piece and just put this whole thing inside of that, and then press everything into place. And now your tablet is totally secure. That actually looks pretty nice. So if we turn it to the side, you can see that there is a really nice raised edge all the way around the screen. It does feel nice in the hand. It's got kind of like a soft rubber feel to it all the way around the case. So if we look at the sides, as you can see, it's got our volume buttons and our power buttons, which are covered. Nice and clicky. Very easily accessible as well. On the side, we have our covered charging port and our cutouts for our speakers, as well as on the other side. As you can see, we have a perfect little cutout here for our front cameras as well. And you can easily access the bottom of the screen too, in case you're worried about that. And then if we look at the back, it's got a really nice leather hand strap here. It is nice and thick as well. So if you have larger hands, you can easily slide it in through the back and then just hold onto your tablet without having to worry about dropping it. And the strap also rotates 360 degrees as well, so you can pretty much put the tablet exactly how you want it. Now this does also have a built-in kickstand as well. You can just simply lift it up from the back here. It clips into place, and then you can have your tablet in landscape or even a portrait mode. Works really well. It is made of all plastic, but it's nice and thick, so you don't have to worry about it just breaking, and it doesn't just flop around. It's actually locked into place. And the way that you push it back down is with this little button here. Just push in that button, and then you can put that back into place. We also have a place to put our S Pen as well. Just simply slide that in through here, and your S Pen is also protected. We have our cutouts for our camera and our LED. It's got these smooth sides right here, which don't feel slippery, but they are smooth. And then if you need to get your S Pen out, it has the nice little cutouts here, so you can easily just take out your S Pen. So not a bad case at all. I was kind of skeptical at first because it looked kind of cheap, but it turned out to actually be a pretty nice case. It's got some nice functionality, and it's going to keep your tablet nice and safe. So I would definitely recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have another protective strap case by Zenrich. So even though this case is a hand strap case, just like the other one we just tested, it's a little different. This one is not made of a 2-piece design. It's pretty much all one piece. It's got a hard plastic back surrounded by a very stiff rubbery type material. On the back, we also do have a hand strap, but it's not made of leather like the other one we saw. And this also does have a kickstand as well. So interesting enough, you can use this case in 2 different ways. 1, with just the tablet itself, or 2, you could use this case with the keyboard cover that Samsung makes. There's enough room at the bottom here to accommodate that. Now, because I don't have the keyboard cover, I can simply just use the bottom part of the smart cover, and it should be pretty much exactly the same. So what they want you to do is to put your tablet onto the keyboard cover, or in this instance, just the smart cover bottom, and we're going to press that into the case. And there you go. It seems to fit on there pretty well. So now the front part of your tablet is covered, as well as the back and all the sides. And the way that you keep the cover from opening is you simply take this little elastic strap here and put it over the corner. Now you don't have to worry about it just opening by itself. That actually looks a lot better than I thought it was. As you can see, it doesn't seem to add too much extra bulk, but it is super protective. It's got those reinforced sides. The front cover is covered because of the smart cover. On the top, we have our volume buttons and our power button. On the side, we have a cutout for our speakers and our charging ports, as well as the other side here. On the bottom, everything is covered. And then on the back, again, we have that kind of nylon strap, as well as the plastic kickstand. And just like the other one, we have a spot for our S Pen to go. So the strap does have some adjustment with the Velcro. So you kind of just open it up, put your hand in there, and then close the Velcro down. It does feel pretty comfortable, feels pretty sturdy as well. And the tablet also rotates 360 degrees. And then it's got this kickstand, and it actually operates a lot better than the other one we tested. All you need to simply do is pull it out until the other end rests into this little spot. It clips into place, and then you can look at your tablet in landscape or portrait mode. And you can also stand it up the other way as well. And then when you want to pull it down, you just simply pull this back, and it slides right back into place. How easy is that? I actually like this mechanism a lot better than the other one. It is made of a hard plastic on the back, but it is surrounded by a nice soft rubber. Let's open up the front. So there you have your cover, and your screen is nice and protected. Now if we look at the edges here, we can still see that there is a slight raised edge all the way around the screen. And as far as those volume buttons and power button goes, they're not as easy to press as the last case. They are definitely a lot firmer, but they still do work. Yeah, you really have to press down on those buttons hard. But other than that, it looks pretty nice. I kind of wish that these buttons were a lot easier to press, but I do love the kickstand mechanism, and I'm liking this softer hand strap here. And then just like the other one, you can easily take your S Pen out if you need to use it. Now I'm going to install it without the cover, just so you can see what it looks like there. And then here is the tablet without the bottom piece. Now I don't know that I would recommend getting this case if you're not going to use one of those covers, because it has this rather large gap at the bottom, and it's a nice place for dust and everything to collect. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But I do like everything else about this case. The kickstand is great. It's nice and solid. The hand strap, even though it's not leather, works really well, feels very comfortable, and you can easily rotate the screen. And the case also is not super easy to take off the tablet, so you definitely don't have to worry about your tablet just popping out of the case. So again, just something to keep in mind if you're not going to use one of those covers, but I do like the case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Turtleskin case by Poetic. So here is the case, and as the name suggests, it does look like a turtle shell. It is totally made of a very flexible, very heavy-duty rubber material. As you can see how easily it flexes. And it's got some pretty nice beefy edges as well that should keep your tablet pretty protected. So all we need to do is just take our tablet and then press it into place. So this case is pretty gummy. It's got a lot of flex in it, a lot of cushion. So if you happen to drop your tablet, I definitely think that it's going to be protected. And as you can see, it does add a little bit of bulk to your tablet as well. It's got these little rubber grips on the bottom, so when you put your tablet down, it doesn't just slide around. Now the back of the tablet does have some give to it. It doesn't feel very tight against the tablet. When you touch it, it kind of pushes in, which I particularly don't like. If we look at the top here, we have our cutouts for our microphones, our volume button, and our power button. So interesting enough, this case does not have any cutouts on the sides for your speakers, but they have cutouts facing you. and I'm assuming that the sound is supposed to curve around the case and aim more towards your face. I'm pretty interested to test that out to see if it actually works. On the bottom, there's no cutouts. On the side, again, we have a cutout for our microphone, and all 4 of the speaker cutouts are facing towards your face. There's also a texture all the way around the case as well to hold on for grip, but this case does feel very soft and slippery, and the chances of you dropping it are pretty good, especially if you're just trying to hold the tablet with one hand. It's just going to slide right out. Now, as far as the buttons goes, nice and clicky. They work very well, easily pressable, and no problems there with the buttons. Then if we look at the back, we have our cutouts for our camera, and we also have a little S Pen holder as well. See how easily that fits in. Pushes in place very easily, and then if you need to take it out, it comes out just as easy, so I definitely do like that. So now let's play a video and we'll see how good these speakers actually are.
Today we visit the island of lost toys. Let's talk about that.
So they actually do work pretty good. I have to give it to Poetic for coming up with this idea because the sound actually feels like it's coming right at my face instead of out from the sides. So that's definitely a cool feature. Then if we look at the side of the case, you can see that it's got a very pronounced raised edge all the way around the screen for screen protection. This is probably the biggest edge I've seen around any case that I've done a review on so far. So that's definitely a plus as well. Now let's see how easy it is to swipe up from the bottom because this edge is so pronounced. So it still does seem to be pretty easy to swipe up from the bottom. You just have to go down that bump, but you shouldn't really have any problems. I'm not having any. So this is a pretty nice protective case, but it does have its flaws. For one, the case alone is pretty heavy. It will add some substantial weight to your tablet, which is really thin to begin with. 2, like I said, on the back here, it's got like this play, like give. When you tap on the back of the tablet, it kind of moves around, which doesn't feel very sturdy. Yes, the case does have really good protection, but you're probably going to need it because, like I said before, the chances of you dropping your tablet because it's just going to slide out of your hand is pretty great. So because of all that, I would not recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs down. If you guys are enjoying the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Now that we've had a chance to test out all those cases, I'm going to let you know which ones I thought were the absolute best based on a few different categories. So for the best cover case, there were a couple that really stood out to me, and I think they're pretty much equal. I chose the Spigen Rugged Armor Pro and the Samsung Smart Book cover. Both of these cases are really nice and they offer slightly different things. Both of their foldable stands work really well. They have a nice cover that will protect your screen, but I do think the Spigen does edge out the Samsung just a little bit because it does have some edge protection to protect your tablet in case it does fall. And even though you can't take the Spigen cover off like you can on the Samsung, it folds up pretty small. Now for the best minimalist case, I went with the WOG. It's just a very simple TPU case that pretty much covers exactly what it needs to on the tablet. It doesn't cover the front of the screen, but it keeps the tablet super slim. So again, if you're looking for just a simple cover that's not going to give you a whole bunch of drop protection, but it will protect the sides and the back from getting all scratched up, I would recommend this case. Now for the best folio case, I would definitely recommend the MOKO. This tablet seems like it's really well built and it's made of some really nice materials. The case inside is nice and rigid and is going to give your tablet some nice protection. The case folds up really nicely and the magnet on the front is also really nice and secure, so you don't have to worry about the cover just coming apart. It's got the pocket in the back in case you want to put something in there like documents or maybe your ID. It's got some nice adjustments for the angle of the tablet. It's also really not that bulky, especially for what it is. And then for the most protective case, I'm going with the JUNFIRE. This tablet case is super secure. It's also not that bulky. It's going to keep your tablet nice and protected, especially if you happen to drop it. I also really like the strap on the back. It makes it nice and easy to hold, so you don't have to worry about dropping the tablet when you're just trying to hold it with one hand. I also love the fact that it has the functionality of the kickstand. It's got a nice little cover to keep your S Pen protected, and I'm sure you could find a tempered glass screen protector that would fit within this case's screen as well. So if you guys stuck with me this far, thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if there was a case that you didn't see in this video that you'd like to see in future videos, let me know in the comments below. I'd also really like to know what your favorite case was out of all the ones we saw today and why you chose it. And don't forget to check out my best and worst screen protector video for the brand new Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. You can check it out by clicking on the video you see on your screen right now. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.